So yesterday was a tough day. I struggled with anxiety, and today the realization, of course, that even in a tough day, nothing is missing because it's the freedom itself wanting to express itself however it wants. And even the veiling itself is part of totality, part of wholeness, part of everything. But it's if you try to understand it as a separate me, as this mind entity, it's really mind-blowing. It really shatters your mind into pieces. It cannot be understood. The mind wants to label things. The mind and the separate me wants to name things how they are and give them meaning. And sometimes that meaning, let's say why anxiety is happening, is useful in the terms of that it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense because the meaning itself is part of a story. The meaning itself is part of a timeline. And every moment as it appears, everything as it is, already complete, already full, and even in the tough moments, and even in anxiety moments, that's what it is. That's all that is. It's tough for the separate me to grasp this. That's why it never will grasp it. But also, who's just not to say that that anxiety could be part of separate me dissipating, and that separate entity does not want to die, basically. It's not even real, but it has this perception that it is. So if it believes it's real, it doesn't want to die, it doesn't want to go. I also would say that in that totality, when there is no apparent veil of anxiety, thoughts, and so on, there's clarity that indeed nothing is lacking, nothing is missing. It's indeed the rewiring of the separate sense of self for survival. It's all there is limitation, story. All there is chasing the next moment, the next appearance, the next experience, running towards pleasure and avoiding pain. And if you're watching this, probably you're also in the place that you've done that and you don't want to do that anymore because it's exhausting. You can't outrun yourself because there's nobody running anywhere. Sometimes it's hard to talk about this subject because the word's really also part of limitation, but we're doing our best here. So if you're having a tough day, if you're having anxiety, it could be part of anxiety that indeed it's a sign of separate sense of self losing its momentum. The true realization is that there was never a separate sense of self. So there's no process of it also. There's just this. And whatever arises at this moment is all there is. And honestly, there's such a great sense of peace with all of this, with this realization. And it's okay if you're in the midst of the storm, so to speak, and you forget. And I think the more you, so to speak, get established in these reminders, the more your body will evoke maybe that energy contraction, contracted energy in your body that may feel like an anxiety. Or it may not. I hope this served you today. It's a beautiful day. I'll see you in my next video.